Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today is the 11th day for our Palo Alto firewall training series. In this video, we are going to talk about the virtual wire interface, the vWire what we say. As we have already covered security zone as well as the tab interface in my previous video, and I wanted to thank you everyone who has commented on the video. Even I got a lot of suggestions as well, so thank you so much for that. Now in this video I'm going to discuss how we can understand virtual wire interface, where we can install it, how it works, and lot more things to cover. Even we are going to cover the lab as well in this video. So I'll request you to watch this video till then so that you can understand how we can set up a virtual wire interface, what is the concept behind it. So, and also I'll request you to please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that whenever I upload any video you'll get notified. So without any further delay, let's get started. So friends, first of all we'll try to understand where the firewall exactly gets placed in the network. So as you see, this PC would be connected to the access switch, and the access switch again connects to the distribution switch and the core switch. After that, the inside user will get exit from the inside zone and will be going to the internet if the user wants to go to internet. The firewall will be placed between the inside exit and outside entry so that he can control the traffic which is going out of the network and which is coming to the network, and he can put the policies as well. So how the vWire will work in this scenario, I'll just explain you. When we put the firewall in the network and when we consider vWire that needs to be placed in our network, we have to keep in mind some of the points that I have listed down here. So vWire interface does not support any routing or switching functionality. In case if you want to run some BGP, or let's say if you want to run some routing protocol, or if you want to run STP in the switching, it doesn't support it. Okay. It also does not allow any management traffic. So if you want to manage from vWire interface, you cannot manage it. You need a management interface to manage the firewall. You cannot log in from the vWire interface because it doesn't have any IP address. But at the same time, whenever the traffic pass through this firewall, the traffic would be checked against security policy, as well as it can apply the NAT as well as UTM policies. So it doesn't provide any control plane functionality. On the same time, it provides the control over the traffic. Now if I want to tell you layer 3 and layer 2, it can pass transparently. What does it mean here is, so let's suppose if I'm sending a traffic through switch to the router, it should be in the same network. So let's suppose the IP address, assume that, let me rub this up so that it will be clearer for you guys. I guess this one would be there, so I can just rub this out. Okay, so now we'll try to understand what exactly this mean is. Let's say the network is 192.168.10.0/24. okay, so the switch interface and the router interface will be in the same network. They will not be having any other network. Okay, the switch and between the router there will be one network. So let's say if this switch IP address is 10.1, then it will be 10.2. There will be no IP address in the firewall. Okay. Now if somebody is troubleshooting the network and do a trace route to find out whether there is a firewall in the path, they will not be able to find it out because it doesn't decrement the TTL value. As the trace route works on the TTL values, the firewall never decrement the TTL value, so that the trace route will also not be able to find out whether the firewall is there in the network or not. So the network administrator who is managing the network, they will be only knowing that there is a firewall in their network and where it is placed. At the same time, the firewall will provide all the services, in sense the security, the UTM feature, the NAT feature, the QoS feature, everything it is allowed. Okay. And now if I talk about layer 2, so when you tag a traffic with the, let's say, VLAN 10, okay, in the switch, and you are sending the data towards the firewall, in that case what happens is it will not be allowed, in sense with some of the settings you can do in the firewall, that is an advanced concept that I can say, but as usual it will not allowed because there will be no layer 2 policy will be there in the firewall to control the traffic. So if you are putting a VLAN tag over here to send the traffic, it will not be processed by the firewall, because as firewall will not have any layer 2. But when you are sending with the IP address, it will be allowed. Why? Because it has layer 3 policies. That is the reason it is doing the security rule check, the NAT policy, and the UTM features as well. Okay. So whenever you are putting a virtual interface in your network, you have to remember these points. These are very important points you have to keep in mind. You can allow tag traffic, but that is a advanced feature that we need to explore in the Palo Alto firewall, that I can show you if you guys want it, that how it can be implemented. So dude, I need your support guys, so that I can create that kind of videos. Okay, so let's move on to lab and we'll see how we can implement that. So friends, I'll be configuring each and every IP address in the topology. So first of all, we'll try to configure R1, which is connected to internet. Now I'll show you in the cloud what I have configured. So the cloud 0 you need to select to get an internet. So cloud 0, when you select cloud 0, it will connect to your machine and then you'll be getting the internet. Now when you go to R1, what you have to do is, first of all, go to enable mode and configure. Now first of all, we'll change the host name and we'll configure G/0 as IP address DHCP, no shut, so that he can get an IP address, as in VMware for cloud 0 already DHCP is configured. Okay, so he got an IP address. Now we have to configure the NAT. We are doing NAT in R1, not on Palo Alto. If you guys want, in the advanced lab we can emulate the NAT as well as the tag traffic for vWire. Okay, so what we have to do is IP NAT, this interface would be outside. This is router configuration, that is a Cisco part configuration. Okay, now we go to 0/1. The IP address that I'm going to give is 10.1.1.10 255.255.0, no shut. Okay, here we need to configure as IP NAT inside, because this 0 by 1 is connected to our inside network and 0 by 0 is connected to outside network. So at least till interface configuration is correct, so we'll configure an access list. So access list 1 permit IP, okay, permit IP, and then we are going to configure the source IP address 10.1.1.0, and here we need to configure the wildcard mask 255, sorry, it is 255 to any IP NAT source okay, source list 10 interface, and the interface name will be Z0 by 0 overload. So we have configured a patch so that whoever is coming from the internal network, they will be getting internet. The R1 will do the pat and they will be getting the internet. Now we'll try to ping from here whether in the router we have reachability to internet or not. So we'll try to ping the DNS so we are able to ping as well. So we'll do a write. Now the first step that we are going to do is creating, okay, I'll just change the color, okay. So first of all we have to create vWire zones, and the second is we have to create the interface, not create the interface, we have to configure the interface and assign the vWire zone to it. Okay, so two steps that we are going to perform now. So first of all we are going to log into this PC, okay, and we'll just delete this off. So the first thing that we are going to do is we'll create a zone. So we'll create a zone name as virtual wire, okay, and the type would be virtual wire. Just create this, and after that we'll go to the interface. Now this interface as virtual wire, there is no much configuration with respect to Palo Alto. It's just about the understanding, okay. So we have to create a virtual wire itself. So instead of creating the interface, before that we have to create the virtual wire and we have to map it, okay. So we'll go to the virtual wire, we'll create a name vWire, okay, and we'll click OK. So when we create this, we'll get an option saying that whether we have to allow any multicasting firewall. So let's say if this switch and this router enables their dynamic routing protocol, in that case we have to allow the multicasting so that the firewall can allow that traffic so that they can create their neighborship, the routing neighborship, okay. So right now we don't have any requirement of it. So what we have done is we missed one step. So first of all, creating zone for vWire, okay, and the second that we are going to do is create a virtual wire. This is not a zone, this is just to create a virtual wire where we can map the interfaces. Now we have to map the interface, map interface. So now we'll go to interface, go to the interface 1.1/1. This would be virtual wire, vWire, and zone is virtual wire. We are not commenting anything now. The same will go to 1.2 as well. This is also a virtual wire, vWire, and the zone is virtual wire. And then we'll commit it. So after committing it, we have to create a, whether we have to check, like we need to check whether the mapping is correct or not, and then we'll create a policy so that the traffic should be allowed. Now we'll try to check the virtual wire. So the mapping is already there. Now we'll go to the policy and we'll create a policy. Name is vWire. Virtual wire. Destination should also be virtual wire and action should be allowed. OK. And we'll just create a simple kind of policy. We are not defining any UTM kind of policy here, or we are not restricting anything right now. Just to understand the concept first. So we'll close it off. Now the configuration part has been done. So what are the steps that I'm going to repeat now again? So okay, so mapping has been already done. Now the security policy that we need to implement. So only 4 steps that we have to follow. So creating vWire zone, mapping the zone, creating a virtual wire, mapping the interface, and creating the policy. Okay. Now this next thing that we are going to do is, now here the understanding comes and you have to understand what exactly it is. So this PC, we have to give an IP address, right? So when I was explaining in this scenario, so the switch and the router will have into the same subnet. As in this scenario, the switch is working as layer 2. It is not working as layer 3. So in that case, when the PC connects to this R1, they will be having the same network. There will be no network changes. So for PC, the gateway should be R1, because as switch is also a layer 2, it doesn't have any IP address, and also the vWire will not be having any IP address. So in that case, it is directly connected to R1. If I say logically, it is directly connected to R1. Only the inspection and the control will be done by the Palo Alto. Apart from that, everything is it has been like the NAT has been done by R1. So the gateway should be router 1. So what was the IP address that we have defined for the router? It was, I guess, 10.1.1.10. So 10.1.1.1 255.255.255.0 10.1.1.1.10. Okay, and I will be defining the default gateway like DNS server, so that whenever we will try to browse anything, it try to resolve with the public DNS. Okay. So now we go and try accessing the google.com. Now as we see, we are connected to internet, and to validate that, first of all we'll check whether the rule has been hit or not. So we can see there are a lot of hits on the rule, that is 103 hits, and we'll go and see whether we can see the traffics or not. So we can see all the traffics that is getting hit into the Palo Alto firewall, and they are coming from virtual wire to virtual wire, and the rule is vWire. So it is working properly. So guys, this is what I wanted to show in this video, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any question or comments, please put it in the comment section, or you can send me a mail for any suggestions or any clarification as well. And also I'll request you, if you are new to this my channel, you can subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video from me, as well as I'll request you to please share this video to your friends and colleagues. Thank you so much for watching.